really, I just kept bouncing from shop to shop, getting more and more experience, and I just kept getting hired. In every shop, I'd learn a new skill or something relating to the job that just helped inform subsequent jobs. And so it's just a case of like meeting the right people and, working hard and just busting your ass and getting your name out there was really all it took.
And so at this point, it's 2004, you're starting this career in prosthetics, the special effects. Did you start to think, well, I also want to write and direct? Did you start writing scripts? Did you start working on shorts? How did that sort of dovetail? And how did you make the transition from, effects guy to writer director?
Well, I actually started in stop motion. Like my earliest form of filmmaking was stop motion animation, which I was doing even before I started prosthetics. My dad loaned me his Super 8 camera when I was about 12. And so I started doing these little animations on film, just frame by frame animations. That was my first taste of filmmaking. So over the years, I would improve my skills at that, but also switch technologies, switch to digital, doing stop motion animation with digital cameras. I started shooting live action movies and combining them with my stop motion. So everything I was doing was special effects based, which was helped by the fact that I was working in special effects as well. Since then, my career has just been like jumping back and forth between like either directing my own projects or doing jobs, like directing jobs for hire, or working in prosthetics, designing and building makeup effects or creature effects. And yeah, it's bounced back and forth between the two.
And how did you get that first professional job as a writer-director? At that point, you had a bunch of shorts that you could kind of show as your resume, and you knew enough people, you were kind of up for these jobs. Maybe talk about that process a little bit.
Well, I had been making shorts and submitting them to local film festivals in Winnipeg. And so I was getting a little bit of attention from that. And then it was around 2006, one of my shorts got into a festival in Toronto and won first place at the Toronto After Dark Film Festival. And so that actually opened the doors to me meeting a bunch of Toronto film people. While I was still living in Winnipeg, I started shooting my first feature film, which is called Manboard. And it was a movie that I made for no money, like pocket change, shot it in my parents' garage on a green screen. It's like a big sci-fi fantasy adventure movie. For no money, where I utilized all my skills, my like prosthetic skills, my stop motion skills, all that special effects work came into play on that. And so it was enough to be considered a feature film. And so I shopped that around, and Toronto distributor Raven Banner picked it up and said, we could probably make you some money on this. And so they bought it, they sold it to distributors, like Anchor Bay bought it in Canada. Dark Sky Films in the US bought it. And so that got me a little bit of genre recognition because the movie played film festivals and people watched it and liked it and wanted to see more stuff from me. So it really built off of that. So then my next movie, The Void, that I co-directed with my friend Jeremy Gillespie, that had a bigger budget. It was still independent, still an indie movie, but it had, I believe it ended up being like a $1.7 million budget. And it was this like kind of dark and gritty horror movie. And then off of that movie was when I started getting actual like directing offers, like director for hire jobs. So that's how I got the job on Leprechaun Returns for Sci-Fi Channel. It was like a made-for-TV Leprechaun sequel. Yeah, that was 2018.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts. Or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.